Laura, and this is LauraGYOGA. So for our theme this week, this is our yoga board, and I wanted to start talking about Jivamukti yoga, which is a form of yoga that I'm a really big fan of. When I was in Arizona a couple weeks ago, I took the Jivamukti yoga book with me and was doing some reading and going through some of the really great sequences that they have at the bottom of their pages. And I just love the way that they incorporate a challenging physical practice, but they still stay really true to the roots of yoga and emphasis on the yamas and the niyamas and the philosophy that really makes yoga special, makes it beyond just an exercise or physical movements that we do with our body. And I pulled out this chant, which is used really frequently in Jivamukti yoga, and it's one of my favorite chants and one of my favorite mantras that I use when I do my meditation. The mantra right up here at the top is Lokah, Samastah, Sukhino, Bhavantu. And then over here on the left, on your right, is the translation of that, which means, may all beings everywhere be happy and free, and may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute to that happiness and freedom for all. And I use this as the theme for the week because I really like the fact that it shows our thoughts are where everything else starts. Everything else in our world, everything else in the rest of the world. There's this little flow chart here that I made from a quote from Lao Tzu that says, thoughts become words, words become actions, actions define our character, and our character eventually makes our destiny. And that ties into the quote that I picked from Buddha, one of my favorite quotes, which says, all that we are is a result of what we have thought. The mind is everything, and what we think we become. We can take this and use it in our practice by monitoring our thoughts and learning how to be the observer of what's happening in the mind. It's those ripples that tend to happen when we feel anxious, when we feel worried. Any of those kind of emotions or thoughts that bubble up, we just want to watch them. Because when we have a thought of anger or a thought of worry, it's going to have this ripple effect into our actions, into our character, into our destiny. And when we can learn to kind of redirect and retrain the mind to be more focused through our practice, then we're going to see that have a positive ripple effect through what our words are, what our actions are, and eventually the way that our life goes. And we all know that that has an effect on everybody else around us. So when we are peaceful and calm and happy, that rubs off on the people around us. And it actually works the other way too, unfortunately. If we're really grumpy and unhappy and angry with the world and we go out and interact with other people, we're going to put that onto them as well. So we like to think that through our yoga practice, we're working on our own personal peace. And our own inner peace is the gift to the rest of the world, because we're going to help everybody else to feel more peaceful at the same time. So let's take this and we'll go into a physical practice and do a little bit of the really fun and interesting Jivamukti sequences. We'll start our practice in a comfortable seated position, and we're just going to drop the hands into the heart, and we'll start with our Jivamukti mantra with our chant. So take a deep breath. Lokah, Samastah, Sukhino, Bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free, and may my thoughts, words, and actions contribute to that happiness and freedom in some way. Release the hands down. We're going to draw the knees up, bring the soles of the feet onto the mat. We're starting with a hip opening sequence to warm us up for the Blossoming Lotus sequence that we're going to go into. And I'll take my hands behind me, give myself a little bit of support, lift the chest and flat at the shoulders so you're not sinking or slumping down. We'll take the feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart, and then just start to sway from side to side. This really loosens up your hips and your lower back. There's a strong connection there. If the hips are tight, chances are you're going to get some tension and probably some pain in your lower back eventually. So we want to keep both of them pretty loose. Okay, the next time that the knees drop to the right, we're going to stop on that side. Swing your left arm over and turn like you're looking toward the wall behind you. Think about pressing your heart out toward that back wall. So you're getting this nice rotation in the shoulders. Inhale, come back to center, and we'll go back into swaying the legs side to side until we go over to the left. We'll settle on the left. Take the right arm over top, turn, do that little rotation toward the back wall. Inhale, bring you back into center, and we'll sway. You might get a little crack or pop as you move your hips side to side, and that's all right. Working out the tension. Okay, next time we go back over to the right side, we're going to do some work with the left leg. We're just going to circle the knee, up and around, straighten the leg, and then go the opposite way. Any movements that really feel good with your hip joint. Out and around. See if there's anywhere that does feel tight. But this is really just about getting movement in the hip, not so much deep stretch. Just getting some lubrication into the joint. And we'll restack the knees. We'll do a little side to side. And the next time that you settle to the left, we'll pause on that side. And same thing with the right leg. Circle your knee up and around. Switch directions. Work out some of that crunchiness. And then we'll stack the right leg on top of the left. And we'll sway. Okay, now a little sequence here. We're going to drop the knees to the right, come up into sitting, straighten your left leg all the way out. So we end up in Janu, and I kept my pillow close by, so if you do have tighter hamstrings and you want to sit up onto the edge of a pillow, a lot of times that helps you to have better alignment, better lift out of your lower back, because we don't want our posture to be like this when we go into forward bend. Take your inhale, reach the arms up, and this is where we get our length through our side body and through our spine. Open up through the front of the body. As you take your exhale, go right down over the left leg, but make sure you're hinging from the hips and keeping that long line through the front of the body. It's going to feel like you don't go down quite as far, but that's okay because we're being more focused. We're being more specific in the way that we're moving rather than just slumping ourselves over into it. As you exhale, give some softness into your outer right hip. Let your right knee soften down toward the floor. Inhale through your front body. Lengthen your spine. And on your exhale, see if you can hinge from the hips. Keep the back long. Don't let yourself fold or curl with gravity. Walk up into sitting. I'm going to take the pillow out, throw it off to the side. I'm going to take my left leg and just swing it behind me, but I'll show you this from the side so it's a little easier to get. I'm pretty much going into pigeon. You're going to shift your weight over toward the right side, swing the left leg back, and lift up onto the hips. And I call this a soft pigeon because we're not going really far down. We're just letting the hips get warm here. Take your inhale up through the front line of the body. Open the front of the spine as you lift up into that little back bend. Feel some opening through the front of the left hip, your hip flexors, and a little sink down into the right hip, the outer hip, the rotators. If your back feels strong, you might be able to release your hands or maybe just lightly use your fingertips for balance. Make sure that there's no strain in the back if you do that. drop off onto the right side of the hip. Swing the left leg out front into Janu again. We'll stack the knees and go back into our sway side to side. Okay, same sequence on the left side, and then we'll move into our Blossoming Lotus. The next time that the knees drop to the left, we'll stay there. We're going to straighten the right leg out, and then decide if you want to put a pillow underneath your hips. If that improves your alignment, then definitely make sure that you sit up on something. Helps to tilt your pelvis forward and keep your lower back really long. Inhale for length. Reach up, open the ribcage. Take your exhale, hinge from the hips as you come forward, but open up the front line of the body. Make sure you're not just dropping into it. Create some length on the way down. Exhale a little bit of softness into the left hip to let your knees soften down. Inhale, more length up through the spine. Feel the back of the neck get longer. As you exhale, maybe there's just a little more space to slide down into, but without collapsing. Take your inhale, walk yourself up. We'll slide the prop out if you were sitting on something. Alright, we're going to send the right leg back into that soft pigeon. And you still want the hips kind of stacked. You want them squared toward the floor so that we're not leaning off to one side or the other. Facing straight toward the front of the mat. Take your inhale, lift the spine out and away from the hips. Feel just a little gentle back bend. And we're trying to get opening right here. So if you don't feel a stretch in the front of your hip, curl your right toes underneath and walk them back farther. Then try to tuck your tailbone under even more, and that's going to open up that area. And we can do the same little balance test on this side. See if you can let go with your hands, and the strength in your core can keep you up. But if that causes you any kind of strain, or if it's difficult to keep your slow, deep breath when you do that, definitely keep the hands on the ground. One more inhale. On your exhale, drop onto the left side of your hip. Swing around to the front. And we'll come back and just sway back and forth one more time. We'll center. Bring the soles of the feet together and we'll come into Baddha Konasana. If your knees are really high, it's telling you that your hips are tight, but most importantly, if your spine is curling like this, if you're really tucked back in here, that's when I want you to grab your pillow or your folded blanket and put that underneath the hip so that you're sitting right on the front edge of it. And you can see when you do that, it opens you up, it lifts your spine so you can sit up straighter. That's really important here. Before we even go into our forward bend, we're going to think about what our pelvis is doing. Our pelvis is kind of shaped like a big bowl. And we're going to think about tilting that bowl forward, like if it was full of liquid, you were trying to pour it out to the front. Your pelvis is going to do the same thing. It's going to tilt forward as you come into this bound angle pose or Baddha Konasana. Tilt the pelvis forward. See if that intensifies the opening in the inner thighs. And then if you have any more space to come forward, you can start to move the chest out and away. We're always creating length as we come down, especially with these forward bends. Don't give yourself that curl. Don't collapse into your chest. You want to keep the heart open. And when you find that really good stretch, settle into it. Close your eyes, soften your face, and just focus on your deep breath. Inhale, slow exhale. this is when we're going to start to move into that Blossoming Lotus. Our hips are warm, inner and outer, and we're going to take our feet a little bit wider than the sides of your mat. Toes go out to the sides and your ankles are flexed. So when we're sitting here, we can either hold on to the legs or you can hold on to the arches of the feet. When I hold on to the arches of the feet, you can see I'm kind of getting a little bit rounded. So I'm going to hold up higher just so I'm not sacrificing my posture. I'd rather have my spine straight than go deeper into the pose. Okay, from here we're going to keep the right hand on the leg and take the left arm back. A little bit of a twist. Making sure that as you twist around to the left, that you're not slumping down into your lower back. Keep your lower back pressing forward. Keep your lower back really lifted. And come up through the crown of the head as well, so that you're lifting as you're spiraling into that twist. Take your inhale back to center, and then we'll switch. So sit up really tall. Inhale, right arm back. Exhale, rotate the shoulders around to the right. Feel that really dynamic spiral as you go around. Inhale, come back to center. Okay, then we're going to go the other way. We're going to keep the right hand either on the leg or you can plant it down onto the mat just underneath your knee. Inhale, left arm opens. Exhale, rotate into that twist. If you feel like you want to take it a step farther, drop the left thumb down toward the floor, bend the elbow and start to slide it behind your back. You're trying to take the back of your hand to the outside of your right hip. That's our bind. And to rotate a little more, reach your left shoulder back. Turn your head and look over your left shoulder. Take your inhale, unwind, and come back to center. We're going to switch sides. Left hand can plant right onto the mat underneath your left leg. Keep your right arm out as you inhale. Exhale, rotate around into that twist. Either staying here if you want to go into that bind. Right thumb goes down toward the floor, bend the arm, slide the back of your right hand to the outside of your left hip. I'm going to go a little deeper into the twist by rolling the right shoulder back, turning the head to look back over the right shoulder. Take your inhale to unwind and open, and come back into center. Let's draw the feet a little closer. I'm still sitting on that pillow, so I'm going to take the pillow out, just so I can feel a little bit more grounded, because this is the balancing part of the sequence. With the feet still out nice and wide like that, you're going to draw your heels together. I'm going to start to lean back until I just drop off the back of my sitting bones. That's our balancing point. I start to engage my abs and lift the legs. You can take the hands right underneath your lower leg and join the hands into, or join the fingers into a mudra. Spread the feet out wide, lift the chest. And this is the full version of your Blossoming Lotus. It's a really pretty pose, very fancy. And you can feel as you're trying to lift your chest, since your arms are underneath your legs, you get this nice rounding that happens through your shoulders. So you might even be able to get a little stretch through your neck as you lengthen the crown of the head. Keep working the abs, keep yourself really lifted. Make sure that you haven't slumped forward or sagged into your lower back. If you need rest, always drop yourself down. Give yourself a little recovery time. And lower the feet down. The next one, I'm going to give you the option. You can do the Blossoming Lotus again if you like that version. If you want to go a little bit farther, you're going to Take the first 2 fingers on your hands, wrap those around the big toe, and put the thumb right on top. And then we're going to lean back, find your balance point again, right when you drop off your sitting bones. And start to send the legs up. Good. Make sure that you're still breathing freely, and then we'll open out wide. Good. Don't worry about the legs being completely straight. Knees bent is okay. It just depends on how tight your hamstrings are today. But really keep the chest lifted. That's important. Chest lifts, lower back lifts. Either version of the balance that you're in, just kind of take it in and enjoy it. Balancing is fun. One more inhale, chest lifts up. On your exhale, make a slow and graceful descent. And once we come down onto the mat, we're going to slide our hips farther back. This is the same kind of shape that we take for Baddha Konasana, but we're opening it up. It's a larger diamond shape. That way we can take our hands and slide them underneath the legs, and you can either hold the tops of the shins, the tops of the ankles, or maybe the tops of the feet. And for this one, tortoise pose, you can let yourself round. Let your head drop forward, let your back round. And it's all about softness and surrender. This is the point in our practice when we have time to observe our thoughts. We're trying to keep focused on the breath, on the inhale and the exhale, and the sensations in the pose. But if your mind starts to wander, thoughts start to float in, then we just take a step back and observe what happens in the mind. Watching the thoughts, making sure that we don't attach to them, just letting them float away. And returning your focus to the breath. Full inhale, slow exhale. And next time that you breathe in, we'll walk ourselves up into sitting. We'll fold the legs together. And that was the end of our Blossoming Lotus sequence from Jivamukti with a nice little hip warm-up beforehand to get you ready for it. So leave me a comment, like the video if you enjoyed it, and definitely let me know what kind of videos you want me to do in the future. Namaste. If you enjoyed the content, go ahead and click the like button. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, go down and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions, comments, or requests that you'd like to see for videos coming out, feel free to contact me by my email or through my website. Thanks, see you next time.